So I'm noticing a trend in the Star Wars fan base right now that I'm extremely unfond of, and it needs to stop right now. Andor Season 2 has just wrapped up, and it is incredible. But what I'm seeing is a lot of people really drag Dave Filoni's name in the dirt because his stuff isn't Andor. Now, I want to start this video off by saying I understand that Dave Filoni has flaws. He's not George Lucas, okay? And he is not Tony Gilroy. And even I personally believe, as a big Dave Filoni supporter, that he is not capable of reaching the quality of Andor. But for us as fans to say that he shouldn't be making any more Star Wars content, or that his Star Wars content is always going to be lesser than, is freaking abysmal to say. Projects like The Acolyte end up happening because there's not people that actually care about the health and longevity of Star Wars. They care about pushing their own agendas, pushing their own stories onto this franchise to boost themselves up. Say what you will about Dave Filoni, and yes, he is not as talented, at least from what we've seen, as someone like Tony Gilroy, but he is absolutely essential to Star Wars freaking making it out alive. When I hear and see people in comment sections dragging his name through the dirt because they didn't absolutely love Ahsoka and the fact that he likes to play with only a select few characters, those characters are some of the best things in Star Wars right now. Like, I don't understand, like, where all this negativity is coming from. Like, everyone loves Rebels. Everyone loves the Clone Wars. Everyone loves Ahsoka, Rex, all these Bad Batch, all these characters. But now that Andor's come out, and it's, you know, it is better than those things, but just because it's better doesn't mean you gotta take what Dave did and drag it in the mud. What the Star Wars fandom is experiencing right now is a little bit of the grass is always greener. I don't know, it just feels really backwards, and it reminds me a lot of, like, how the Star Wars fan base treated George Lucas after the prequels, where it's like, yes, the prequels are not as good as the original trilogy. I think a lot of people, you know, still agree with that sentiment, although the prequels have experienced a huge fan resurgence. But we can't just sit here and point out the flaws in Dave Filoni just because it's not something else. That's what ended up pushing George Lucas away from his franchise, from his baby that he created. We can't allow that to happen with Dave Filoni. Star Wars is in a fragile position right now. We cannot allow that to happen. What Star Wars needs are people like Dave Filoni. And maybe not in the creative sense. Tony Gilroy is a completely different creative, but we need people like Dave who care. And that is in short supply. That is an extreme short supply. So I have had enough of people saying that, like, Dave needs to get out. People, you know, Star Wars needs to move on from Dave. All these Dave Filoni glazers need to just open their eyes. No, it's just crazy that people are switching up on Dave so quick. He's been around for such a long time. He has delivered time and time again. And yes, there have been some missteps, some flaws along the way. But for us to sit here and act like he is not the guy to pull Star Wars out of the dumps is ridiculous. We need people who actually care about Star Wars, who care about George Lucas's Star Wars. And I'm also not going to sit here and say that George Lucas's Star Wars is the only way, you know, like, I'm not saying that we only have to play with characters from episodes 1 through 6 or make it feel like episodes 1 through 6. But the core of what that is needs to stay. And I think it's brought out in Andor, but it's handled a little bit differently. I think people are really disregarding the way that Dave brings George Lucas's Star Wars to his Star Wars. And it's just wrong. It's wrong at the end of the day for us to praise this man, get him promoted to chief creative, you know, officer or whatever he is, and then bring him down because someone, you know, made something really good. It's wrong. It's just wrong behavior from us fans, and we need to stop. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this quick little video. I just wanted to get this out there really fast. Just a little frustration that I've had with the fandom recently, and it just needs to change before we shoot ourselves in the foot like what happened with George in the prequels. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments section down below. Are you a Dave lover, a Dave hater? Did you enjoy Andor? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, may the Force be with you.